Hey, good evening, guys. I just wanted to jump on here, do a quick little Facebook Live. I'm not going to make this too long. I'll probably just go about 10, 15 minutes, but just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on the potential cold air for next week. I'm sure you've seen a lot of posts on social media. I've seen just a ton of them today all over Facebook and all over social media talking about this cold air on the way next week. So I just figured I'd jump on here and do a quick little Facebook Live kind of talking about what we're seeing. And it does definitely look like the coldest air of the season so far will be arriving here probably late this weekend and into the following week. So probably looks like cold front comes in Saturday. This will start to move in Sunday into Monday of next week. And it does look very, very cold. In fact, this could be the type of cold that could cause some serious issues with the pipes and things like that. So kind of start planning ahead now because I think this is going to be definitely the coldest air so far of the season. So let's take a look at some forecast models here, some of the new data that's come in this evening, and then we'll kind of talk about what I'm thinking here. So as I mentioned, we got a cold front coming in this next weekend. So the front comes in, I think, probably Saturday as it looks right now. Saturday is going to be a pretty warm day overall. You can see there we are in the Arclitex. You can see that warm air kind of coming in ahead of that front. So again, Saturday is going to be a very warm day. Could even see some thunderstorms on Saturday as that front comes in. And then as we move along into our Saturday evening, this is Saturday at about 6 p.m. You can see we're still in that warmer air. And then looking ahead to Sunday, that colder air is starting to come in. So the temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly as we head towards the second half of the weekend. So Sunday, the cold air starts to move in. And then look at this, by Monday morning, this is Monday morning, about a week from now. So we're talking early next week, about a week away. Monday morning, we could have temperatures in the teens all the way down into central and southern Louisiana, potentially. Again, this is going to be some really, really cold stuff. Look at those temperatures up across the upper Midwest. We're talking Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, Montana. We're talking actual air temperatures up there that could be 20 to 25 below zero, not even factoring in that wind. So, but you can see that cold air drops all the way down into portions of Louisiana. So it's going to be some really cold stuff. Now we move towards Monday afternoon. And it looks like the entire day is going to be spent potentially below freezing as it looks right now. We will struggle, I think, on next Monday to get to freezing in some spots. It's going to be very cold. And then we get into Monday night. And that more cold air kind of moves in. We're back at the teens once again. So you can see a large portion of the country is dealing with that cold. So let's take a look at the wind chills that we're forecasting. And I'm going to zoom in a little closer to the Arclitex in a second, but I just want to kind of show you how cold this air is going to be. And again, we're looking at our wind chills for early next week across the region. So here comes that cold. And man, look at that. Look at those wind chills up in the northern portions of the U.S. We're talking 40 below zero wind chills up there in the Dakotas, Montana. That cold air starts to move into the Arclitex as we get into Sunday night into Monday of next week. So this is a Monday morning. And look at that. That could be wind chills in the single digits for our area. We could even have wind chills near zero up in the northern parts of the Arclitex. So we got some very, very cold air on the way. And it could be, again, the coldest air. As a matter of fact, I think it is likely going to be the coldest air of the entire winter season. So Lewis, one model says 14 degrees in Texarkana. Definitely believe that for sure. This is going to be some really cold stuff. So let me zoom into the Arclitex. Just bear with me here, and we'll kind of zoom in just a little bit closer because I know those numbers can be kind of hard to read when you're far away. So, and again, we're looking at wind chills here. So let's take us ahead to that time frame. And you can see, again, the weekend, or at least the end of this week, looking pretty warm. We're going to likely be in the 60s here as we head into Friday. And then cold front comes in probably on Saturday. So look at that. Saturday, still pretty warmer in the 60s there. And then that colder air starts to come in. And again, right now we're looking at our wind chill forecast. So watch how this cold air starts to pour in here. And this is our forecast wind chills by Monday morning next week. So about a week from today. And as you can see, those wind chills could be near zero. So dangerously cold air, definitely dangerous cold for this area coming in. And again, that would be the early part of next week. So, and all the forecast models are in pretty good agreement with this. So I would not be surprised if we have wind chills in the single digits. And, this last round of cold was accompanied by that wintry precip. This round of cold, the winter weather part of it, the snowy part of it, and the freezing rain and all that, that's a little bit uncertain. But I am very confident that we're going to see much colder air with this one. The last round of winter weather that we had come through, it really wasn't that cold. Temperatures were kind of right around freezing. This one, though, this has the potential to cause some major issues with infrastructure. We could be talking about, again, pipes bursting. We could have some big, big issues because, again, temperatures with this next round are going to be a lot colder than what we just had. So that's the concern there. That's your wind chill temperature. Let's look at the actual air temperatures during that time. And again, so we get ahead of that front. So we're ahead of that front on Saturday. So look how warm it's going to be on Saturday. So we're talking temperatures in the 60s ahead of that cold front. Then that cold air comes in, and this is next Monday. And so we're talking, temperatures in the teens as you wake up next Monday. But again, wind chills near zero. So some really, really cold air is on the way for sure. Now, a lot of you are asking about the wintry precip part of it. I'm going to get into that in just a second here. But what I want to do is kind of show you something else real fast. So let's see here. And what I'm going to do here is kind of show you how this is going to be setting up. So anyway, so what we got going on is we got this big trough of low pressure. So the jet stream is going to be taking this big dive to the south. This is the GFS model for next Monday. And all that white and purple that you see on there, that is some extremely cold air. So we got that air coming straight in from Canada, all that air just pouring to the south. That's your jet stream kind of doing something like that. And then all that cold air is going to pour its way right into the Arctic. So we're talking, this air is going to be coming straight in from Canada. So the big question mark now is we got the cold air in place, right? We got all that cold air in place. The question now is, will something form down here in the Gulf of Mexico? Going to put a big question mark on that because, some forecast models are saying that we could get low pressure down here in the Gulf. Other forecast models are saying that nothing's going to form. And that's really important because, again, we have the cold air in place. So we have, some of the ingredients for a big winter storm. But the big question is, are we going to see a system form in the Gulf? If we do, if we get something forming down there, that could bring us another winter storm. If we don't see anything forming down in the Gulf of Mexico, then obviously we wouldn't see very much. So again, that part of our forecast is still very uncertain. But it's something we're going to be watching as we get closer. I will say at this point, I'm kind of leaning away from that. I don't think we're going to have as much of a setup for a winter storm this time around, but it's something we'll be watching for sure. So let's take a look at a different thing here. And again, I'm going to share my computer screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at here. And let's see here. We'll go to this. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. So now we're looking at the GFS forecast model, and this is the new run that let's take a look at the new run that just came in. This is a brand new data. So kind of seeing this together at the same time. And we'll kind of zoom into our part of the country here and look at the precip type. So again, this is kind of what we've been really closely watching. We got the cold air obviously next week, but the big question is, are we going to see any wintry precip? And this is the brand new forecast model run that just came in. And you can see it is showing something trying to get going, maybe low pressure forming down in the Gulf. That would be pretty far south. That if that forecast model was to verify, we'd be talking about snow all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. We'll see if that pans out. The air is certainly cold enough. And again, you're seeing this for the first time as I am. This is the first time I'm seeing this brand new run. So, if that was to verify, that would mean that the snow might actually, so that'd be kind of funny, right? Because this last winter storm, the snow missed Shreveport and Bossier to the north. If this was to happen, the snow would actually miss us to the south. So that'd be interesting, but we'll see how that pans out. But again, something tries to get going down there in the Gulf, and that would bring some winter weather to southern Louisiana potentially. Let's take a look at our temperatures here. And again, this is the new data that's just coming in. So we get pretty warm out ahead of that front. Here comes the cold front right here on Friday night into Saturday morning. So I think Saturday is going to be a pretty warm day. But then here comes that colder air. So by Sunday, temperatures will be dropping quickly, and it's going to get windy and colder on Sunday. By Monday morning, again, this model not quite as cold as the European, but is definitely very cold. And you can see high temperatures potentially on Monday in the 30s, and that cold air continues to move in. But the big question, of course, that everyone's wondering is, will we have any sort of winter storm? And it's honestly just way too soon to say. I mean, we're still a week away, and forecast models have been all over the place. But this model would suggest maybe something. Again, this is the brand new model run. The previous one was showing kind of the same deal. Is trying to bring in some sort of wintry precip later on. But these models have just been kind of all over the place. So it's a tough call, but let's go back to the latest run. Let's take a look at our potential snowfall. I mean, this is still a long, long ways out, but if that were to happen, maybe a little bit of snow there, maybe in southern Louisiana. We'll see. What about snow in Natchitoches? That's too soon to say, unfortunately, but I think you have a better chance this round than the last round because there's going to be colder air. So, and again, I know a lot of you that wanted the snow were kind of disappointed with this last system. It was just kind of that nasty rain for most of us, unless you were in Oklahoma, of course, or Arkansas. If we do get a winter system this go around, we probably have a better chance of seeing snow for pretty much everybody, just because the air is going to be so cold. So, yeah, we'll kind of see how that plays out, but it'll be interesting to watch. And again, that's next Tuesday that we're looking at there. So that's kind of a ways away, but it will certainly be interesting. I mean, the overall pattern is certainly there to support some very, very cold air. And of course, when you have the cold air in place, then you do have that potential for some wintry precip. So let me show you something else real fast. Let's see here. All right, let me try to pull something else up real fast here. Kind of doing this on the fly, so just bear with me. But all right, so what we're looking at here is the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook, which is pretty interesting because, again, the 6 to 10 day outlook is showing well below average temperatures. So that would be definitely interesting. Let me see here. Let me try to share this page with you 1 second. Here it is. So again, you can see there, that's the Climate Prediction Center, and that's their outlook for next week. And it's not very often that you see that really deep shade of blue there. And so basically what this is telling us is that, most of the country is looking at some extremely cold air next week. And again, that cold air is going to extend all the way down to the Gulf. So we're talking, even South Texas, we're talking places like Houston, New Orleans, probably going to be well below freezing. Houston, Texas, probably below freezing. I mean, we're talking areas all the way to the beaches on the Gulf of Mexico. They're going to be potentially in the 20s and 30s. So, but again, as far as snowfall, that's still way too soon to say at this point. But, it's something we're going to be watching for sure. So let's go back. I'm going to go back and show you guys something else real fast. Then I'm going to end this thing in just a moment. Okay, so here we go. So I just want to show you one more thing and show you the snowfall outlook, because we haven't looked at the European as far as winter weather. Now, this is why I said that the winter forecast, the winter storm part of this is still pretty uncertain, because you just saw the GFS and it was showing that snow down in South Louisiana. But this is the European model during that same time. And let's go to early next week. So again, here comes that cold air. You can see we're probably going to get some snow up across portions of Texas and Oklahoma as that Arctic front comes in. And that'll be this coming weekend. So that'll be Sunday. Look at that snow in Oklahoma City. So there could be snow in Oklahoma City Sunday, not quite moving into the Arklatex. But notice how that kind of falls apart a little bit. And then after that, there's really not much going on. So this was the same forecast model that was showing a big snowstorm for us yesterday. And that's why you can't really trust these forecast models yet. And that's why when you see these posts on social media talking about a major snow, I wouldn't believe that yet, because this model was showing a big snowstorm yesterday. And now, as you see, it is showing virtually nothing. I don't see anything for next week on this. So Yeah. So again, that's why there's some uncertainty, because this is the European not showing much, but then you saw the GFS, which was showing that snow. So again, there's still a lot of uncertainty in that forecast, but it's something we'll be watching, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I know it's getting late here on a Monday night, but I'll be doing more of these on more of these Facebook lives, and I just started a YouTube channel, so if you want to follow me there, I'll be posting videos there as well. And then, of course, our whole weather team's on top of it. CJ is in tonight, or he was. I think his shift is over now. But and I'll be back tomorrow. And, of course, our whole team will be on top of it. And I'll be posting more updates throughout the week.